So the data is out for January from the Canopy MLS and the National Association of Realtors. And every month we get together and I talk to you about what's happening on a national level as well as what is going on here in Charlotte, because I want to give you guys the trends, give you my opinions of what's happening now and where I see things going down the road. So I appreciate you tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Brian Taylor and I'm the owner of Dreamline Realty right here in Charlotte, and I appreciate you tuning in. But let's get right into the information here. We're going to talk about the article, and then we're going to shift gears and go back and forth and look at charts and graphs. So let's dive right in and see what is going on from the National Association of Realtors. So their new report shows that existing home sales descended in January. It goes on to talk about existing home sales fell for the 12th straight month in January, which of course is according to the National Association of Realtors. It says total existing homes, which are the completed transactions, slid 0.7% from December 2022 to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4 million in January. Year over year, sales retreated 36.9%, down from 6.34 million in January of 2022. And if you're wondering what the heck I just said, here it is really in a nutshell. I'm going to show you a graph. The big red line right there that points to 6.340, that is where we were in January for a seasonally adjusted rate. And just 12 months later, you can see the little red line pointing to 4 million. That is January of 2023. So basically what I'm telling you guys is in just a year, we have decreased that seasonally adjusted rate of home sales by over 2 million in just a year, which makes sense, right? Because a lot of people have pulled out of the market with the higher home prices, with the higher interest rates. Just a lot of people right now are sitting on the sidelines. So let's take a look at what's going on here in Charlotte. So as far as closed sales in Charlotte, Charlotte is down actually 37.9%. Now I just told you that the article from a national perspective was down 36.9%. So Charlotte is trending right along with the national average. And as you can see, in January, only 2,261 homes went for sale in that month. So let's go back over to the article now and let's take a look at some more metrics. So if we go back here, let's take a look at total housing inventory. So total housing inventory, the unsold inventory sits at a 2.9 month supply at the current sales pace, which is unchanged from December, but it's up 1.6 months in January of 2022. So let's take a look at what's going on here in Charlotte. So for the month of January, we were actually up 55.8% in inventory with 5,768 homes for sale. But let's shift gears and look at the blue box on the right-hand side. So in October, we had 8,535 homes for sale. And as you can see, every month since then, we have decreased. Now, I will tell you this, we are in a very interesting dynamic right here in the Charlotte real estate market and across the country, because active listings are rising. That means the amount of homes that are actually on the market. The reason the active listings are rising is because it's taking longer for houses to sell, which I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. But I also want to tell you that new listings are decreasing, right? So we got active listings going up, but new listings coming down. And you might be asking, why could that possibly be? Well, the reason for that is a lot of sellers are reluctant to sell their house right now. With interest rates rising, a lot of sellers are sitting on a fixed rate at 2.75, maybe 3.5% that they got 2 or 3 years ago. There's no incentive for them to sell unless they have to sell. So that is the weird dynamic that we're in right now, which leads me to the months of supply of homes for sale. Charlotte right now sits at 1.5 months of supply, which is up 114.3% from last year. And I just told you that on a national level, that article just said the national number is 2.9 months. So we are well below that. So if we go again over to the box in the blue, you can see in October, we were at 2 months supply, November also at 2 months supply, and then December and January, we're starting to see these numbers come back down. And one of the reasons is what I just told you about sellers being reluctant to sell. So let's go back over here and take a look at our next metric, which is this. Homes sitting on the market for more than 60 days can be purchased for around 10% less than the original list price. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but what is going on here in Charlotte? I think it's a little bit less than that, and it actually is. Sellers are getting 94.5% of their list price. So what that means is if a seller was to sell their house for $100,000 or list it for $100,000, they can expect to get 94.5% of that listing price, which is a decrease of 5.6% from last year. But again, on the blue box on the right-hand side, in April of 2022 and May of 22, sellers were getting 102.8% of their list price, and that's when the market was at the peak of multiple offers, people paying way over asking price. Sellers were in heaven if they sold their house during those months. But as you can see, from May of 2022, every single month we have gone down in list price received. And I expect this number to continue to fall at least for the next several months until we kind of start to hit somewhat of a bottom here, which I think we're going to do here relatively soon. How long, I don't know, but I personally think that the Charlotte market overall probably has another 5% before we hit the bottom. But let's head back over and see what our next metric is. All right, so we're going to be talking now about the median existing home price for housing types, and in January that was $359,000, which was an increase of 1.3% from January of 2022 when we sat at $354,300. Now check this out. This marks 131 consecutive months of year-over-year increases, which is the longest running streak on record. That is absolutely crazy, guys. 131 straight months. So Charlotte right now has a median sales price of $375,000. I just told you that the article said $359,000 was the national average. Charlotte is above that by just a little bit, which is a year-over-year increase of 7.2%. Now, if you follow me at all or have been watching any of my videos, I've talked about this many times in the past, and I'm going to talk about it again now because it's my biggest pet peeve when it comes to data, right? A lot of people think that homes are appreciating by 7% per year based upon this figure, but that is actually false. On paper, it is true because home prices were so high a year ago that even though they've come down year over year, it still looks like we're up 7.2%. But if you go back over the last 8 months of the month-to-month median sales price, it is falling every single month, which means that prices are coming down. They're not going up. That 7.2% is very misleading in my opinion. But let's get back over and check out what our next metric is. And that is going to be days on the market. So properties typically remain on the market for 33 days in January, up from 26 days in December, and 19 days in January of 2022. 54% of homes sold in January were on the market for less than a month. But let's see what's going on here in Charlotte. Days on the market right now sits at 46 days, which is an increase of 100%. So last January, the days on the market was 23. But if we go back over to the right and see in June of 2022, we were at the lowest of only 14 days on market. A lot of houses never made it past 2 days on the market, right? But now we're starting to see this number go up. And as homes continue to sit on the market due to rising interest rates, we are going to see this number probably rise for a good little bit. So guys, speaking of interest rates, according to Mortgage News Daily, here we are today at a fixed rate of 6.88%. About 30 days ago, I did a video and I told you rates were at 5.99%. And in just that short period of time, we are right back up to 6.88, knocking on the door of 7 and a little higher. And the reason for that is because we have 3 inflation reports that came out within the last 2 or 2.5 weeks that showed that inflation was rearing its head again and that we might not really have this thing under control. Even though a few weeks ago, the Fed and Jerome Powell came out and said, hey, it looks like we are in the beginning stages of disinflation and things look like they're going to be great and turning the corner. And then the last 2 or 3 weeks of inflation numbers have been completely above expectations, which has shot interest rates all the way back up. So guys, I have a question for you. When do you guys expect interest rates to get back down to, say, maybe 5%? I would love you to drop in the comments if you think that's going to take 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, or 24 months. A lot of people have different theories and speculations on this, but I would just love to hear what you guys are saying. So drop that down in the comments below. I would love to see what you guys are all thinking. So guys, if you need my help in your home search, I am super easy to get a hold of. All of my contact information is in the description below. Call me, text me, email me, but the best way to reach me and spend some time together is to hop on a Zoom call with me, spend 15, 30 minutes on Zoom, put a face to a name, get to know about your situation so we can put a great game plan together for when the time is right for you. Just scan that QR code or go to that website at smoothmovecall.com, smoothmovecall.com. So either one of those two ways, or there actually is a link to that website right there in the description below. But get on my calendar, let's talk about your situation and help you make a smooth move to Charlotte. If you're looking to move here from somewhere else, or if you currently live here, we can also help you with that, of course, too. So guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today and watching this video. I love bringing you guys these market updates. I've got a lot more cool stuff coming your way, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I'm gonna put a video on the screen here for the last one that I did. You may wanna check that one out as well, guys. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. And as always, make it a great day.